Okay, so the last 2 days we've been working on graphing functions. One's where they give you the domain and you just have to graph a point for it. And then yesterday we did all real numbers, so you have either a line or a curve with it. Now today we're going to be kind of doing the opposite. We'll be using functions to figure, or just kind of look at where points would be on the graph. So for this first one, it's just read along with the directions. You can use a graphical function to find points that are generated by the function. And that essentially means that if you go along the x-axis and pick any value, like say 1, 2, -1, -2, if you look along the graph of the function that you're given, you can essentially figure out what points is there. So just for example, this first one, f of x equals -x² plus 4. And it says to find the value of f of x when x is equal to -3. And again, what does f of x stand for? Or another word for?
Y.
Y. So we're essentially looking for y when x is equal to -3. So just from this graph, someone tell me what to do.
Find the points where it hits crossbar on the x and y axis to find your coordinate plane.
So what value are we using for x right now?
-3.
Right, so I should go over to -3, 1, 2, 3. And then since we don't know what y, we just have to go down until we find a point where it looks like it meets the graph at x equals -3. In that case, what is that point? Or where does it look like it's crossing?
-5 or -3, -5.
Right. So we're just guessing right now that it crosses at -5. So that is a point on the line, -3, -5. But in order to make sure that that is actually a correct answer, we have to check it. And in order to do that, we just substitute -3 in for x in our function. So let's do that quickly. So our function is -x², and our value is -3. So we do negative, I need the pen, -3 squared plus 4. Okay, and what's -3 squared, guys?
-9.
Positive. No, it's positive because of the negative times negative.
Right, so it's +9, but we still have that first negative. So it's -9 plus 4. And what's that equal?
-5.
Right. And that aligns with what we did earlier when we were checking or looking at the graph and saying that, hey, our value for x is -3 and it looks like it's crossing at -5. So when we plug that in, we got out -5 and that works out. So now for the next parts, your graph is f of x equals 2x minus 1. And they are telling you to find f of x when x is these values, -1, 1, and 1/2. So let's do the first one together. When x is equal to -1, someone tell me what to do.
Wait, did you say what we're supposed to put equal after equals?
What?
Did you say 2x minus 1?
Yes, 2x minus 1. Okay.
Adjusting the graph, not the equation.
Oh.
Right. So this is the graph for that line, 2x minus 1. So we're being asked to find what f of x is when x is equal to -1. So what do we do first?
2 times -1.
Nope. Well, let's just look at the graph first. So what do we do, Abby? Okay, so we go over to -1.
And then go down.
Okay, we go down, and our graph looks like it's crossing at -3, right? Okay, so let's just put down -1, -3. That's what we think it's crossing at right now. But in
Or
order
would you
to...
just plot a point right on the line there? Go ahead, because that point is on the line.
Mhm. Now, in order to be sure that that is right, let's plug in -1 in for x for that one, so, for some space. Let's just do that right under there, so. Okay, -2 times -1 is -2.
Just keep subtracting one.
Oh yeah, what am I doing? There we go, thank you. Minus
Instead
1.
of times before.
Means times.
You didn't need it.
I did not need that, I messed up. Okay, so 2 times -1 is what?
-2.
-2, and then -1, that equals -3. So that works out, right? Okay, so let's work on number 4 and 5, when x is 1 and then when x is 1/2, so.
Yes.
I'm confused why you put a dot on the X line. Or, yeah.
Okay, so just with this first one, we put a dot on there because we're,
No, like the one,
In between the 0 and the 1.
oh, in between here, that's where the next two will be, so. Actually, let's just go along with that. So for the first one, when x equals 1, we go over 1, right? And then wherever the graph is crossing, that's where we would put a point. So that's what we're doing with that. We're just putting a plot on the
yeah, I'm
graph.
just trying to figure out.
Why?
No.
I'll ask when I get.
Okay, Cody?
Okay, so for the 1 over 1, or over 1 of 1,
Mm-hmm.
our answer is 1, right?
Right, that's what it looks like, right? And then did you plug that in
Yes.
and it worked out?
Yes.
Okay. So then that one would be 1, kind of 1. And then for x equals 1/2, what did you guys get?
Oh, that makes sense.
Does it, got it now?
0.
Okay, 0, right? Because you go over, that's about 1/2, and that's where the graph crosses, so you put that point there. You got 0, and when you plug it in, does it check out?
Yeah.
Yep,
2 times.
2 times 1/2 is 1.
That's
Okay,
Which is what? We multiply by 1/2. Or 0.
well, your x is 1/2, right?
Yeah.
And that's what you would plug in for your x in the function.
I see.
Oh, okay. So then what would this order pair be? Mm-hmm, 1/2, 0. Does anyone have any questions? Is it making sense? Okay.
This is all we're gonna have to do.
This is just one more part. The assignment for today is dealing with everything that you guys have done so far.
So we're basically finding the point line graph and then solving them to see if they fit.
That's one part, yes. The other parts are graphing for given domains, all real numbers, and then this. Okay, so next problem. Use this graph, f of x equals the absolute value of 5 minus x to find these values. So, someone tell me what to do first off.
You find 2 on the number line.
Okay, that's right there. And where does it look like it's crossing?
And 2, 3.
Mm-hmm. So put a point there to make sure that's that first one. And then when you plug that in in your equation, what does that come out to be?
3.
Yep, absolute value of 3, that equals 3. Good job.
Is that 6?
No, thank you. That is a 5. No. Okay, so when x is 2, you got f of x equals 3, or y equals 3. Now, let's go with the next one. When x is 6, what do you get? So what do we do first, though?
You find 6 and then a 1, and you look, so you see where it is.
And that's where it hits, right?
Yep.
So then when you plug 6 in for x in your equation, what do you guys get?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do that. So 5 minus 6. 5 minus 6 is negative 1.
Well, it's 1. My bad.
And the absolute value of that is 1, right? So you're close, Noah.
I was thinking the answer.
Right. So then what do you, when x is 6, f of x is what?
1.
1. And do we get that from the graph too, when x is 6, y is 1?
Yep.
Yep. And the last one, when f of x is 0. So what do you do?
You
0, and you go up to 5.
Got that point right there. Plug it in. 5 minus 0 is what?
5.
And the absolute value of that is 5. Right.
So our things are 2, 3, and 6, 1, and 0, 5.
Yep, those would be the ordered pairs that you just found. And I believe that's everything. If you want to add anything.
I would just like to have them summarize now the different things that they did in lesson 3.4, and because I think they seem a little confused about what will they do on their homework. Okay, so could you guys find your other 3.4 notes here quickly?